Hello, hello, hello. This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington with Discover Bright Side, and we are kicking off our America 250 video podcast tour. Yes, indeed. Today we will be recording 15 states being represented, and we'll do the tour for 90 days. And we will end in July to celebrate America's birthday. But because it's Juneteenth, we cannot forget about 160 years. So we want to make sure that we make a mention of that as well. But today we're going to kick it off and then we'll be recording from now until July. So everyone who needs a recording, who wants to say what they have to say, who wants to be represented, we need you on our channel. So I am so pleased to have in my studio for my Veterans Luncheon. I want to thank all the veterans who are watching, and we've been getting all kinds of military deployment messages from different parts of the country. We are praying for you, we are rooting for you, and we did have Military Appreciation Month, and we celebrated our women veterans. And today I'm celebrating two fantastic combat veterans who have been there, who have experienced it, and they've come back to tell you their stories. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to my first guest, and he is Eric Larose. And Eric has served this country, and he's written a magnificent book that we want everybody to buy and write a review. So, over to you, Eric.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad to be here. Happy to have me on. How you doing? How you feeling this morning?
Great, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Just to give a little something about myself. My name is Eric Larose Sr. I served in the United States Marine Corps. I fought in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and I wrote a book called Deserted Sands. And the book is my story of growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana, going to college, joining the Marines, joining the service, headed to Desert Storm, and the life after the battle. The book basically talks about my years growing up, going to college. I went to Southern University where I got into a little mischief, and I had to make a change in life. And I had an uncle who was in the Marines, and that's all he talked about was the Marines, the Marines, the Marines. So I said, well, let me go take a different route and join the service. So I joined the Marines, did my boot camp, everything. And lo and behold, come home on leave, I get a phone call. You got to report back to your duty station. Which I thought, report back to my duty station for what? I just got home. Yep, we was being shipped off to Desert Storm. During Desert Storm, we did the war, we fought. I was part of the Lost Battalion. We was a reservist unit that was activated for Desert Storm, and we was forgotten about in the desert. War was over. We still out there. We think the war's going on. Everybody's home but us. We was part of, they called us the Hill 99, the Lost Battalion. It just so happened they had a young reporter who was out there trying to get his little story together, and he ran across us and asked, what were we doing out here? We said, well, we out here fighting the war. He said, the war been over for months. And we didn't know. We still out there in the desert, living like savages. You know, it's hot. Food is scarce. We surviving. And lo and behold, yes, we was left behind. They rushed us out there. Got back home, got back to the city life. But I was never the same once I came back. And part of my book states the life after PTSD. If everybody who have served have some kind of PTSD. And I was one of those who thought I could handle it on my own. I wouldn't worry about it, I just would be standoffish. My friends would be like, man, what's going on? I said, man, I'm fine. I just, I'm not a people person right now. I wouldn't stand in crowds. I was always guarded. If I go out, I'm always looking at where I'm at, looking at my surroundings, checking everything out. Then after going to the VA, this the other veterans talk, I realized I had a problem. So I started going to the counseling sessions, see my psychiatrist, and it started helping. And the VA number one thing is give you a pill for something. So that's basically my story. Telling you about my book. My book is on Amazon right now. My email is Eric Larose, EricCLaroseSenior.com. Or you can type that in or go to Amazon, and once you put in Eric Larose, you'll get to the book. I thank you for this time.
Hey, excellent job, Eric. This is Reginald. I got a chance to look at your website, the book that's masterfully done. I'm a combat veteran myself. My era was OIF, OEF. I gotta tell you, you have such a compelling story, and so many people are going to be able to learn from it. If there was any one particular lesson from that deployment, what would it be? For anybody that hasn't served or anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to have that experience?
The one thing I would say, if you haven't had that experience, it's not really experience, something you want to experience.
Understood. I get that.
If yes, that makes sense.
I definitely understand.
I don't think nobody wants to be in a combat situation where you don't know if you're going to wake up the next day.
Definitely.
But in the aspect of the military, I think it's something for if you want to change, you want some structure and discipline in your life, the military is the way to go. It helped me out a lot. I was headed down the road of destruction, and it got me on the right path. Just so happened I wound up going to a combat in the process.
Thank you very much, Eric. What's the one leadership characteristic that you developed throughout your time in the service?
Well, it made me more disciplined. Made me more disciplined where I could get in a situation and I could think my way out of the situation. Make me more conscious of what goes on and what I'm doing. Instead of just going head first, I think about the situation first, and then I attempt to solve the problem.
Very good, Eric. What do you wish every American would understand the most about military service?
Military service is, how can I say this? It's not for everybody. It's a learned process, and if you have to be headstrong for the military because they play a lot of mind games.
Very true.
And if you're not headstrong, they will break you. So it's not for everyone. But I would say
had to turn their mute.
If you
give me one second, Eric. If you everyone take the opportunity to mute if you can, and that way everyone can be heard. Thank you very much. Please continue, Eric.
Yeah, so it's a great stepping stone for someone who wants to change their life. The military, it helped me out a lot. And for as yourself, what would you say?
Well, it definitely taught me discipline. I served 23 years, and I can definitely tell you, and a lot of folks that have served, deployment is no joke. Discipline, being able to think on your feet, being able to adjust to situations. There are so many different things that I could tell you from my own leadership experience as well as deployment experiences as And and the thing about it is, as veterans, we talk about it, but it's even as vivid as our descriptions are, it's still impossible for the average person to fathom because they've never had that opportunity. So they're living vicariously through what we share.
Yeah, people see the benefit and think that the money is worth it, but I tell my wife, who helps veterans get to 100%, they get to their disability. I've said it's not fun because the aftermath that you have to live with, the sleepless nights, the restless nights,
Mm-hmm.
just the man, I can tell you, I can sit and talk for hours of just. At one time, I was like crazy when I came home. It took me a lot to get to this state where I'm at now. I just was so angry and standoffish. It took a minute for me to get to where I'm at. And it's
Yes.
until this day I still go see the psychiatrist, and to work out my issues. Because we as men and
Mm-hmm.
military men, veterans, we're taught, we don't have pain, we don't have fear, we can handle anything.
Yeah.
Which
But nothing could be further from the truth.
Which our reality is not true.
Yeah.
We human too.
Absolutely.
But they build us to where we think we're machines that we can handle it all, and we can't.
Mm-hmm.
We need the help, and that's basically what I put within the book. I want people to, because I know people that still feel they can handle their problems, and really they can't. They need that other person. You need that other veteran, that psychiatrist, someone else you could talk to level you off.
Definitely. I can tell you, coming back from Iraq, I had to take time to adjust, and there's still things that you're never really the same after an experience like that. I did experience some things that I always work through. There are a lot of things that it changed me for the better as well. But I gotta tell you, Eric, thank you for your service. Thank you for writing this book and getting on here and sharing it. And I would like to know at this time, does anyone else here on the panel have any questions for Eric?
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Reginald, and thank you, Eric, for your service. Everybody, please give them a big applaud. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So over to Elton Brewington, the host of the podcast.
Greetings to you all. I first have to give recognition and appreciation as well as thanks. And all of us thank you, Eric, and soldiers and members of the military like us for your service. The sacrifice that you've extended yourself to and for us, that we can sit now and enjoy the privileges of freedom. And you've heard it before, freedom ain't free. Freedom ain't free. There's a price to pay for freedom. And Eric, I appreciate your paying the price. And we in America, we enjoy and endure and appreciate and that's why so many people run to America, because of the freedoms that we enjoy. I had I'm an accountant in India, and he told me once, he said, "You are from America. You enjoy freedoms that we will never enjoy, that we will never experience." And he was right. He was right. The privileged, and even the idea of being an American and being free and experiencing the capacity for your own specific ambition. And Eric, I want to extend to you the idea that now that you have sacrificed so much, and that you've endured so much, and you've come now to the point where it's your time. It's your time, and we now have to spend our time and focus to huddle around you to get you where you want to be, and that your dreams are fully and completely realized. And so you, like other Americans, have done what you were supposed to do done what you were told to do. I had a good friend of mine who retired a lieutenant. No, he retired a colonel in the U.S. Army, and he always used to tell me. He said, keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing, meaning focus on what's necessary and the things for your own personal and incredible survival. And that's what makes us great. Our communities, the power and the strength of what we can be, the power and capacity to overcome the challenges that we face. And and even us here on this panel in this community here, as small as it is, we're going to huddle around you to encourage you, give you greater vision, a greater depth of focus, a greater capacity for improvement, and we're going to fight for you as best we can to get you where you need to be. So come with us, share with us. Let's talk and describe and define, what is our long-term initial effort. And so know that, and know it absolutely. So yeah, here in this space, it ain't nothing but love, brother. Ain't nothing but love and our community and people that care about you, that appreciate you, and that fathom what the depth of your pain could be. But know this: the pain won't last always. Your victory is here now. Here now. So share your story anytime. Come along and give us your feedback, and we are looking forward to sharing your real intimate aspects of your story. And now it's important for us to huddle together to dream the big dreams and ask the big ask. Scriptures say that we receive not because we ask not. So don't be afraid to not ask. Don't be afraid to ask. This is what I want, and this is what I think I deserve. And so all of you that are here, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, and we're really drawn to you. And we want to help you dream and conceive and perceive what your big capacities would be. And at the outset, before we move to the next speaker, let me say this, a little simple prayer. God, give us the power and strength and the fortitude to achieve with great regard and great respect and appreciation for all who share with us, we pray. Amen. All right, come on. Let's get going. Going to be a great day. Going to be a great week. We've got some great programming and some wonderful guests, and we're excited, and we're excited for you. So sit back, yield your eye, mind, and attention to the great things that will yield themselves to you and for this programming. Hey. Okay, I yield back over to my co-host, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you, Eric, for this amazing story, and we are so grateful that you came on our show. Extremely grateful. And thank you for your service. And everybody, we want you to buy his book. That's how you show appreciation. Get his book and write him a review. And if you're watching Brightside, tell us what you think so that we know that you are watching us. We know that you are watching us. All right. So let's get back to the program. I just want to acknowledge that we have in the house New Orleans. Everybody, give Eric a big hand, everybody. And we are touring around America, 90-day tour. So we'll be here every single month, touring around, visiting people. And so thank you for that great New Orleans story. Thank you for your service. And over to you. Let me stop sharing. Reginald is the board member of the North Carolina Veterans Business Association. He has several businesses, and I'll let him tell you all about it. And he is the VP of Marketing and Sales for Brightside. So over to you, Reginald.
Oh,
and happy Father's Day to everyone.
Happy Father's Day, everyone. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that wonderful introduction. My thing is just to serve. I spent a long time in the military. It seemed like it went by quickly, but you take the uniform off, but the service element never really leaves you. It's just that it never really stops. You just do it in different capacities. It's always an honor each month to be a part of the monthly veterans virtual luncheon and getting to talk with different veterans on behalf of Discover Brightside. It's good to see all of you, and especially for those watching, taking the time to get on here and to hear what we have to say. That isn't just important. What you hear, feel free to share. Share with your families, share with your communities, share with people that you know. We want to get the word out, and we want to continue to show the bright side. Yes, there are a lot of things happening in this world. We all know that. But there's definitely a bright side in what it is that we do. Once again, thank you so much. It's always wonderful to represent the veteran community. It's always wonderful to represent Discover Brightside, and also where I am locally out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It is just good to be of service and to continue to serve. And I always say this, service never stops. Thank you.
Yes, and we have North Carolina in the house. We're touring around America, 250 states. I mean, 50 states. It does seem like 250 states, but 250 years, and we're also celebrating Juneteenth. So thank you for watching Discover Brightside. Hit the subscribe button. Tell us what you think. Show some love to our wonderful veterans. Nicole, do you want to say anything or not yet? Thank you for your service. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's still morning here. I am in College Station, Texas, of Texas A&M, Gig'em, and all that stuff. One thing that I wanted to say on the for us as veterans, I wanted to briefly talk about the the caliber of the people that are going into the military now. I have four children. Three of them joined the Army. Two are still in the Army. My son is a combat veteran. He's out now. And my daughter that didn't go in the Army married a soldier. I married a soldier. So we're an Army family. I am a part of a group on Facebook that when your children go to basic training, parents just are in this group asking everything. They're just terrified about everything. One thing I noticed, my last two daughters, the older of them, she joined the Army last year. She's been in a year. She's stationed at Fort Campbell in Kansas. I mean, Fort Riley. I'm sorry, Fort Riley. And my youngest daughter went in 2 years ago, and she's in Hawaii, Schofield Barracks. What I noticed when they went in, every single week, there were at least 5 people that dropped out of basic training. I can't do it. You're not going to scream and holler at me. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. My daughter, that's in Kansas, she graduated. It's been a year since she graduated basic training, and we went to Fort Jackson. Her platoon started out, there was 38 of them. They had 17 that graduated. And it was because those kids were like, you're not going to scream and holler at me. And Eric and Reginald, my ex-husband now, he was a drill sergeant. What I found when I went in the Army after I graduated high school, I'm from North Carolina. What I found is as bad as it got, drill sergeants never let you quit. As mean as they were to us, my drill sergeant, we were the first females that he was, but one thing he never let us do was quit. You were not going to get out of this man's army because what are you going to do? As mean as they were to us, they still built us up. And the drill sergeants that we saw when my girls graduated, those drill sergeants, their sole goal in life was to get you out of basic training. Go ahead and get out. Nobody cares if you get out. And those kids didn't have anything or anybody there in their corner. So they were getting out. The group that I'm in on Facebook of the parents whose kids are at Fort Jackson, last Tuesday, a mom got up there and said, They were 2 days into basic training. Her daughter said, text her and said, I'm coming home. And 20 of her battle buddies in her company left with her. They let 21 people leave 2 days into basic training. I don't know what veterans will look like 20 years from now. We all have that story of my battle buddy was never going to let me quit. My drill sergeant was never going to let me quit. But now it's like, you're not going to scream and holler at me. You're not my mom. You're not my dad. And you're cussing at the drill sergeant. The drill sergeants are cussing back at him. And I don't know, this to me is a problem. It is a huge problem. And I don't know how we as veterans fix it. The drill sergeants that were our drill sergeants have retired and have long gone. I don't know what we do now to fix this. This isn't a problem yet. It's not a problem yet because the ones that are still in are the residuals of us. I retired 15 years ago. So they're the residuals of us. But at some point, those that are easily frustrated, those that want to give up quickly, I don't know what the military looks like in 10 years. I don't know what veterans look like in 20 years. So that's where I am. I was constantly, when my girls were in basic training, just praying and praying. We had prayer service, we had Bible study for the girls that were ready to give up in her unit. Like, I'm going home. And it's like, what are you going home to? So we got to keep you in, we got to keep you focused. Thank God everybody's good. They're in Hawaii, they're in Germany, they're in Korea. A couple are deployed to Qatar. They're doing well. But that post where that lady said that the Army was okay with 21 people going home 2 days into basic training is a problem. And I don't know what we do. That's it. That's where I am right now.
Well, Texas in the house. Congratulations.
Thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that. And you make a solid point. And I'll share this with you in that, while there are some incredible stories, probably in the military, that we as a community have faced and endured, uh, and those experiences, they will serve us. But and you also, I'm not gonna be callous in the perception that, what they say, if it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger. That also, it makes you smarter, smarter, because you'll have to understand and realize, one, what the consequences of your decisions are, and two, if you can. Now, I've been taught that no matter what you go through, there's an alternative and a prayerful condition and experience. And there'll be times that you'll have to search deep and wide to find the right condition and solution. That means that, there is one that you don't have to sacrifice your life for, but you still have to endure a great realization for good decision making. And so, and that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us who we are, the consequences. And all decisions aren't easy ones. All decisions aren't easy ones. But if you're prayerful and you will look and search, you can find the right conclusion and condition, and one that will give you the power, will give us and you the power. And so I'm thankful for that. And I live my life that way. Look for the best alternative conclusion, decision, and capacity. And so, and you may not get the power right away, but you can get the power. You can get the power. And through pain and avarice, we see, because I mean, we're here to win, and we must win for our children, our families, and what the big picture looks like over time. And so here we are, and tomorrow is an amazing time, and we're here to make sure that we can get what we need from today and tomorrow, you know. And as I think about it, we have an author in our community and she has written a book about the therapist. And she professes that there is now available therapy communities for children. And so, yeah, she's here with us now. And so, but the point being that, sometimes you need, it's like a flashlight. In the dark, a flashlight is an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool. And sometimes you'll need light to discover the best way to move and where you should go. And light can be perceived in the form of information. Information. Sometimes you're put with the condition of decisions that you need information about. It's like you ask someone, I'm going here. Which way should I go, left or right? We'll ask people for help with those decisions. And then actually, we don't really know who knows, but we'll ask anyway. Now, I've been downtown New York City on my way to a meeting, and I had to ask someone for directions. Now, of course, when you do that, and you have to be careful and cognizant of whether or not this person can tell you or not. If what they say, you ask somebody for directions and they scratch your head. They scratch your head and they say, "Oh, let me think." Well, I can appreciate that. We all have to think right. But if it looks like they don't know, then you don't want to waste your time. But if their experiences tell you, here's what I mean, and this is what's so amazing about now and today. We all of us, each and every last one of us, will have to do a new thing. Or you have to do a new thing, a thing that there's no rule book for. And God has made us each individually capable that we can do a new thing. There's no rule book. Ain't no rule book. What we're trying to do, there's no rule book for. But it's on you. You'll have to decide, what should I do? What should I do? And you're going to have to come out your box. The good Lord made you strong, willful, and capable to the extent that, okay, if ain't nobody else can do it, I can do it. I can do it. And I will figure it out. I'm time enough for it, and I will look down to the bottom of how it's made, and it's between it and me. And so, with that regard, you're going to have to, and if you're smart, you'll devise an intelligent blueprint. An intelligent blueprint. Now, in my community, I use cover boards or searching boards. And in the searching boards, or we call them, what's that called? We call them discover boards, where we'll draw the map out. Draw the map out at every aspect. And I have done projects that, man, if I didn't have a cover board, I don't know what I would have done. And so it's a roadmap. So I encourage you to all, each one, use this, because you're going to have to do a new thing. You're going to have to do a new thing, and you'll need that roadmap to get you from point A to point B. So be encouraged and conclude that I'm winning. I'm winning. And here, I want you all to say this. And we're going to scream it at the count of 3. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm absolutely winning. No. I want you to say it loud, like you really mean it. At the count of 3, I want you to say, I'm winning, I'm absolutely winning. All right? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm
I'm
winning.
winning,
I'm winning. I'm
I'm
absolutely
absolutely
winning.
winning. Oh, yeah. I got inspiration from that myself.
All right.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
All right.
Okay. All right. There we go. So over to you, darling.